Alright, you guys, welcome back to the channel. We're here for some more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero news, info, and updates. Today, we're going to be going over the specs and hardware of the game. A lot of you guys over on Twitter have been asking me what the specs are going to be, so we're finally here for the one time. And we're also going to be talking about a different game mode that we haven't necessarily talked too much about on the channel just yet. So without further ado, please make sure to drop a like on today's video, and let's hop straight into it. So massive thanks to the official Japanese Sparking Zero website. This is where I'm getting the information from. Up here we have more of the basic info like the title of the game, compatible hardware, which of course PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and Steam, the genre, number of players, which it does say one player, but do keep in mind that they confirmed within the Bandai Namco Sparking Zero game showcase that they're going to be implementing the offline local split screen feature, which we will talk a little bit more about later on. Online, 1 to 2 players, of course. Now, the release date, since this is, again, the Japanese website, they're going to be getting Sparking Zero specifically for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series on October 10th. However, for their Steam version, they're going to be getting that on October 11th. Now, over here in the US, I do believe that the game is going to be dropping all at the same time. Whether you're on PlayStation, Xbox, or Steam, we're going to be getting the game on October 11th, right? Now we have the official specs down here, starting things off with screen resolution. 3840 by 2160 for PlayStation 5, 3840 by 2160 for Xbox Series X, just because there are 2 different versions of the console. The 2560 by 1440 resolution is referring to the S variation, just because it's not as strong as the X version, right? And for Steam, it does mention the lowest resolution, which is 1280 by 720, which is still HD quality, and the maximum resolution is 3840 by 2400, which is normal at this point. I'm pretty sure, like every game on the PC, we can always go into the settings and then increase the resolution somehow. So yeah, same thing for Sparking Zero. Next, we do have 4K and HDR compatible. Now, this is super cool to me. Yes, 4K, and yes, for HDR. I believe Sparking Zero is the very first Dragon Ball game to have HDR, because even with the recent upgrades for Xenoverse 2, Fighters, and DBZ Kakarot, you know how they got the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series upgrade? Yeah, even then, it still wasn't HDR compatible. But for Sparking Zero, easy. So the game is just going to be top tier quality. It's going to look gorgeous. 4K on top of HDR with the cinematic story missions, cutscenes, super and ultimate attacks. Top tier. Now for Xbox Series S, it does say limited to 2K. So there might be some differences for that specific version of Xbox. Maybe HDR will be compatible with 2K, which I'm assuming that's what it's trying to say, but that's going to be the max resolution, right? Enhanced supports. Now this one is a bit strange, just because we don't necessarily need to get that support enhancement if the game is already going to be running with HDR and 4K, you know? So yeah, that makes sense how that's not going to be included. As for the frame rate, 60 FPS for PlayStation 5, 60 FPS for Xbox, both versions, and it does say recommended frame rate 60 FPS for Steam, because again, we can go within the settings and probably change it to the variable frame rates with 120 FPS or even 144, which is not necessarily confirmed, but I'm just speculating at this point. I think that's going to be the case, because if we take a look at Xenoverse 2, for example, which is a game that dropped back in 2016, mind you, we can do exactly that. Change the setting to variable and have 144 FPS. So, you know, not confirmed, just speculation for Sparking Zero. Online features, number of online players. Main game, single player, of course, referring to the story battles, the episode and custom battles, the online play. Now, going back to the Bandai Namco game mode showcase, they did confirm again offline split screen. However, it's going to be limited to the Room of Spirit and Time. Now, if we go over here to the interview that we went over in yesterday's video, be sure to check that out if you haven't already. I'm just bringing this up again just because it does mention the same stage. The final question down here, it says, I understand that split screen offline battles are only possible in the Room of Spirit and Time, but can the Room of Spirit and Time be selected as a stage in other modes? The answer, it can be selected as a stage in other modes. So I just wanted to clear up some confusion. If we play the tournament mode, online battles, whatever it may be, yes, we can play on the Room of Spirit Time. It's not exclusive to the offline split screen feature. However, if we do play that specific offline split screen mode, then the only stage that we get to play within that mode is the Room of Spirit and Time, if that makes any sense. So going back over here, number of online players, it does say Tenkaichi Budokai supports up to 8 players. So at the start of the video, I did mention that I want to talk about a different game mode that we haven't necessarily talked too much about just yet. So of course, this is referring to the World Tournament mode. If we go over to the official European Sparking Zero website, it does say, fight your way to become a champion across various tournament modes and victory conditions. Various tournament modes, that's plural. So I think it'll be great to get all the different tournament modes from Budokai Tenkaichi 3. If you don't know, we have the classic World Tournament mode, the World Martial Arts Big Tournament, which I believe is from the BoJack Unbound movie. Basically, any fighter from across the world could have participated. Very cool. The Cell Games, the other World Tournament, you know, Super Kaioken Goku versus Pikkon, and even Yamcha Games. Now, I don't think this one ever happened in the anime. This was more of a parody based off of the Cell Games, but instead of fighting Cell at the very last fight, it's going to be Yamcha. So if we can get like some weird, funny parody tournaments within Sparking Zero, that will be a plus as well. But as we all know, we're getting the implementation of Dragon Ball Super. That's like one of the main focuses of Sparking Zero. I think it'll be cool to get all the other tournaments, like the Xeno Expo tournament. I think that's what this was called. The exhibition matches, right? Where we got the Trio de Dangel, Lavendale, Bazel, and even Bergamo, you know, going up against Gohan, Goku, Majin Buu, I believe. And I think we even got the Topo versus Goku fight within this tournament here. Moving forward, the Nameless Planet tournament, you know, Universe 6 versus Universe 7 for Tamo, Magenta, who else? Kaba, Frost, Hits, you know, versus the main Universe 7 warriors. Go ahead and throw Monaka in there if you really want to. But real quick, going off topic, this is nothing but pure speculation. I feel like we kind of got a tease of the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 story segment, or even the stage itself, the no-name stage, because of the Ultimate Edition. So here we have the content within Ultimate Edition. Bottom right corner, it does show Super Shenron, and according to the anime, I believe, correct me down below if I'm wrong, the first appearance of the Super Dragon Balls and Super Shenron was within the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 saga. So, you know, again, nothing but pure speculation. I feel like this kind of was already teased just because they kind of correlate with each other in a way. I do know that Super Shenron was also part of the Tournament of Power. You know, the MVP, Android 17, was the one who made the wish. So yeah, going back to the next tournament mode, y'all already know Tournament of Power. Are you kidding me? So getting those 3 in Sparking Zero will be top notch. Going back to the interview again that we covered yesterday, this does have something to do with tournament mode. So down here, the second to last question, it does say, are there any stage gimmicks prepared? Answer, regarding gimmicks such as destruction, they are basically the same as in the battle mode. However, you can set ring outs in some stages. So we can toggle on and off the ring out system for the tournament modes. Only some stages, it doesn't necessarily confirm which one. Again, going over to speculation, I think it'll be great to get a toggle system where we can turn off and on the flight ability specifically for the Tournament of Power mode, or the stage in general. Doesn't necessarily have to be within the tournament you know, feature itself. But let me know down below in the comments what you guys think about that. If we can turn on and off the ring out system. I feel like we should be able to turn off the flight ability again for the terminal power stage. That will be so cool. Anime accuracy, man. So this was actually something that we've seen before. Going back over here, it does say supports up to 8 players. As we all know, the Raging Blast series, which was also developed by Spike. Well, at the time, yeah, again, developed by Spike. Now, Sparking Zero is being developed by Spike Chunsoft because of the merge. But yeah, we've seen this within Raging Blast 2. They had the 8-player tournament online or offline against computers, does not necessarily matter. You can get 7 of your homies, create your own tournaments, or, search up online each individual character that I see up here on screen. Yes, a different player. Of course, it's not like a battle royale system, where all 8 players are fighting at the same time. No, it's like a normal tournament, 1 versus 1. And then you can see the brackets right here. If Super Saiyan 3 Goku beats Super Saiyan Mid Goku, then he'll move up and wait right here until these 2 opponents finish up their fight, right? And then so on and so forth. Yeah, like a normal tournament. So it seems like going based off of the official Japanese Sparking Zero website, mind you. Yep, Tenkaichi Budokai Tournament supports up to 8 players. Hey, man, that's so cool to me. Moving forward, we have the online feature and paid service subscription. So obviously for PlayStation, there's going to be the PlayStation Plus, and for Xbox, do they still call it Xbox Live? Or is it, I'm assuming they changed it to Game Pass, unless that's something entirely different. I'm not sure about Xbox, right? But yeah, you do have to, get the normal online subscription. For Steam, I don't think none of that even exists, so that's cool over there. Number of players who can play offline with local communication. Yeah, it's been confirmed we're getting the split screen. Offline multiplayer with up to 2 players is possible in versus mode, so I guess that's the official name. Recommended data capacity, number of saved data. Required HDD capacity, 56 gigabytes. So that's going to be the size of Sparking Zero, specifically for PlayStation 5. Number of saved data, 1. Replay data is separate from the main save data, all right? The maximum required capacity may vary slightly. So just make some room on your console for Sparking Zero. For Xbox, it's going to be about 38 gigabytes. For Steam, it's going to be about 33 gigabytes. This part right here is actually pretty important. So here we have the compatibility. It does say none. I don't know what that's referring to. The save data transfer incompatible. So down here, it does say cross-platform compatibility. Incompatible. So no cross-play feature, which means we cannot play against someone who's on the Xbox or Steam if we're playing on PlayStation, vice versa. If you're on Xbox, no, you cannot play against someone who's on the PlayStation or PC. It's only, sticking to the same console servers, right? So, which, I think it would be cool to get cross-play, don't get me wrong. I believe at the time of recording this video, the only Dragon Ball game with cross-play is Dragon Ball The Breakers, right? So that's cool how they did that over there. But yeah, for Sparking Zero, that's not going to be the case. So we do have a bit more information over here in regards to the PC requirements. Massive thanks to Art Creeps for sharing, and big thanks to Eat the Herb for the original information. It says, it seems that Sparking Zero won't be too difficult to run well if you have a mid to high range PC. Low-end PCs aren't completely out of the question either. We finally have minimum and recommended requirements, and here we have the 2 images. Now, I wanted to check the official Bandai Namco website myself, but for some reason, it doesn't showcase the PC requirements. I think this is from a different region over here, so again, massive thanks to them. Here it says, here we have a zoomed up image of that. Recommended. Requires a 64-bit processor and operating system. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know if that's high tier, low tier, but this is just what we have. Some of you guys probably know what all this is referring to. OS, the Windows 10 64 bits processor, the Intel Core i7 7700, or the AMD Ryzen, which I believe in terms of PC, Intel and AMD are always like the top 2 choices. Memory, 12 gigabytes of RAM, that's pretty good. graphics 1080p 30 FPS, NVIDIA GeForce GTX 780, AMD RX, the two different graphics cards. The DirectX version 12, storage 30 gigabytes. Yep, again, the official website does say about 33 for Steam, so yep, pretty accurate. And additional notes down here: memory 16 gigabytes, 4K 30 FPS, and the two different graphics card. Yeah, so these are just the additional requirements or recommended settings for PC. And that's it for today. Just wanted to go over the specs for the people who have been asking. And again, I wanted to speculate about the World Tournament modes that we're going to be getting. Up to 8 players, very epic. Comment down below if you guys found this video helpful. Thank you guys, as always, for the immense support on the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next Sparking Zero video. Peace!